Hi there. It's July the 6th and time for Proverbs 6. Now we're still in prep phases, right? We'll get to the actual Proverbs. And today he's talking about, in the beginning, financial entanglements, okay? This is the first he will talk about this Solomon, many times throughout Proverbs, okay? Very much against it. My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor or entered into an arrangement with a stranger, you have been trapped by the words of your lips, ensnared by the words of your mouth. Do this then, my son, and free yourself. You have put yourself in your neighbor's power. Go humble yourself and plead with your neighbor. Don't give sleep to your eyes or slumber to your eyelids. Escape like a gazelle from a hunter, like a bird from a fowler's trap. Okay? When you co-sign for somebody else's loan, good friend or your kids, that makes you responsible for their loan. Okay? To somebody that you don't even know. They're borrowing money from somebody on your name. Right? And if they don't pay, they're going to come after you. So he can breathe easier. He said, don't do that. Okay. It's just, and he's very, very much against that. And like I said, he will talk about this at least a half a dozen times or maybe more. Laziness. Go to the ant, you slacker. Observe its ways and become wise. Without leader, administrator, or ruler, it prepares its provisions in summer, gathers its food in harvest. Yeah, right? Ants do that, don't they? You can get up and find them in your kitchen, been working all night in the dark, right? And they don't have leaders, they don't have rulers. The ant they call the queen is just the egg layer, okay? They take care of her because she propagates the entire hive. And I don't know where the scout ants come from, where the hierarchy, but it's interesting. One ant will find something, go back and bring back 100 with him. So, amazing, huh? 9. How long will you stay in bed, you slacker? When will you get up from your sleep? And this saying's highlighted. He says this over and over. I think it's one of Solomon's favorite sayings, right? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the arms to rest, and your poverty will come like a robber, and your need like a bandit, right? I'll do it tomorrow. Delicious man. Holman Christian Standard has all these titles in it, which is kind of cool. Okay. These are scammers, okay? They call them scammers today, and they're everywhere. They're on the internet, they're on the phones, they're in the mail, live on the streets, right? A worthless person, a wicked man, goes around speaking dishonestly. Scammers. Winking his eyes and signaling with his feet and gesturing with his fingers. He always plots evil with perversity in his heart. He stirs up trouble. Therefore, calamity will strike him suddenly. He will be shattered instantly beyond recovery. Right? And these people get found out. And once you are exposed as a scammer, you can't recover from that. I knew you're a scammer. Right? Nobody will listen to you anymore. And before communications, they had hand signals. They would wink and tap because there was always more than one person involved in the scam, okay, taking advantage of somebody. And they would have hand signals and winking with his eyes, signaling with his feet, gesturing with his fingers. Okay? Evil stuff. What the Lord hates. Okay, this is important. The Lord hates 6 things. In fact, 7 are detestable to him. Okay? Arrogant eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that plots wicked schemes, feet eager to run to evil, a lying witness who gives false testimony, and one who stirs up trouble among brothers. Okay? Stirs up trouble among brothers. That's a gossip. Okay? These are gossip. God hates gossip. Remember that. Next time somebody tells you, did you hear what so-and-so did? Stop them. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. That's not my business. That's gossip. Okay? So, and we'll go over those one at a time. Okay? Okay, again, warnings against adultery. He talks about this a lot, too. My son, keep your father's command and don't reject your mother's teaching. Always bind them to your heart. Tie them around your neck. When you walk here and there, they will guide you. When you lie down, they will watch over you. When you wake up, they will talk to you. Right? God's word, father's command. Okay? Right. Keep those, and they will do all these things. When you walk here and here, they will guide you. When you lie down, they will watch over you. When you wake up, they will talk to you. For a command is a lamp, teaching is a light, and corrective discipline is the way of life. Right? You want to be corrected when you're wrong? You should. This will protect you from an evil woman, from flattering tongue of a stranger. Don't lust in your heart for her beauty, or let her captivate you with her eyelashes. For a prostitute's fee is only a loaf of bread, but an adulteress goes after a precious life. Right? Prostitutes are unmarried women who are doing anything they can to survive. Okay? It only costs money for them. An adulteress goes after a precious life. Right? That's adultery. She's married. She has a husband. He has a wife. 27. Can a man embrace a fire and his clothes not get burned? Can a man walk on burning coals without scorching his feet? So it is the one who sleeps with another man's wife. No one who touches her will go unpunished. Please, people don't despise the thief if he steals to satisfy himself when he's hungry. Right? Still, if caught, he must pay 7 times as much. He must give up all the wealth in his house. Okay. The one who commits adultery lacks sense. Whoever does so destroys himself. He will get a beating, and dishonor and disgrace will never be removed. For jealousy enrages a husband. He will show no mercy when he takes revenge. He will not be appeased by anything or persuaded by lavish gifts. Right? If you commit adultery and you get caught, the husband is going to be very angry. Jealousy is betrayal. Okay? That's what jealousy is. Betrayal from somebody you thought you could trust. You can't buy your way out of it. I'll give you a new car. I'll buy your house. I'll pay out. No, it's not going to take away that jealousy and that betrayal. Okay, no amount of money. Okay, that's why that's highlighted. So there you go. Let's go back and catch these highlights. Right there. This whole first section talks about co-signing. All right, don't do it. Okay? In other parts of Proverbs, it will talk about if you must co-sign. Like if your kid needs a car, he's got a new job, and he's doing really well in school. Can you co-sign for me? Most parents will say, okay, but you need to get a collateral. It'll say that, right? You need to say, okay, I will co-sign for you to get a car, but I'm going to take your dirt bike and I'm going to take your Xbox system and I'm going to put those away, okay? And if I have to pay your loan off, I'm going to sell those to get my money back. If you pay the loan off, I'll give them back to you and everything's fine, right? Get a collateral. It'll say that as a caveat, right? Okay, laziness. Go to the ant, you slacker, observe its ways, and become wise without a leader, administrator, or ruler who prepares its provisions in summer and gathers its food during harvest, right? Ants are always working. They have no government, they have no hierarchy, but they're always working, right? Take a lesson from the ant. And this is highlighted because it's one of Solomon's favorite sayings, right? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the arms to rest, and your poverty will come like a robber, and your need like a bandit. Scammers, okay? We talked about scammers. A worthless person, a wicked man, goes around speaking dishonestly. Scammers do that. Winking his eyes, signaling his feet, and gesturing with his fingers, right? Now they make fake web pages and make you think you're somewhere where you're not, right? And they steal, right? And they violate copyrights, and right? Some of these people even pretend to be the Social Security Department, and if you can pay off your thing by buying iTunes gift cards for them. Right. That's like cash, okay? Untraceable cash. And they do that. He always plots evil with perversity in his heart. Stirs up trouble. Right? Therefore, calamity will strike him suddenly, and he will be shattered instantly beyond recovery. Right? When these people get caught, they can never work again. They can never go anywhere because everybody knows who they are, right? Shattered beyond recovery. Okay. I said we would tear these apart, right? 7 things that are detestable that the Lord hates. Okay. Arrogant eyes, haughty eyes. That's looking down on other people, right? You're supposed to care for the poor, care for those, right, that have had less blessings than you. It's your job to bless them. God hates when you look down on people, right? A lying tongue, of course, you know what that is, right? Some people just lie all the time. A lot of them are in politics, right? Hands that shed innocent blood, right? You don't need to tear that apart. That's there's people that do that, beat up people. Right? They have a punching game now in the big cities. I stay out of big cities. Is somebody walk along and then they just clobber you and knock you out just for a game, right? And then they put it on the internet so everybody can see it. God hates that. A heart that plots wicked schemes. Okay, it's these scammers up here. And there are people plotting wicked schemes all the time. Right? Feet eager to run to evil. There's a note over here for that. Meaning the raging affections which carry a man away in such sort that he cannot tell what he doeth. Cannot tell what you're doing. Right? Think about these people looting stores, okay? There's a group of people protesting something they don't like the government's doing, so they're going to break into somebody's private store. Well, we'll teach them. We'll break into the store and steal all the stuff out of the store. It makes no sense to me, right? But there are people that normally wouldn't do that. Oh, that's wrong. But they see people carrying stuff out and they run, eager to run to evil. I want to get some of that loot for myself, right? Eyewitness who gives false testimony. Plenty of those. Plenty of those. And one who stirs up trouble among brethren, or neighbors, or church people, right? Gossip, okay? Stirs up trouble. That's gossip, okay? Spreading rumors that are none of your business. God hates that. Okay? Hates it. Warnings against adultery. Corrective discipline is the way of life. For command is a lamp, teaching is a light, and corrective discipline is the way of life. Okay, note over here. And reprehensions when the word is preached bring us to life. Right? Corrective discipline. Right? It says preaching over here, right? If you get a good pastor that's preaching the honest Bible, and he's preaching out of the Bible and says something that this is wrong, this is a sin. And well, I'm doing that. I didn't know it was a sin, right? Corrective discipline is a way of life. Right? You'd always want to be corrected if you're wrong. Okay. Okay. It'll protect you from an evil woman, from the flattering tongue of a stranger. Right? If you know good, if you know the Bible, if you follow God's word, you won't fall into that stuff. Okay. Right? Smooth, right? And there was a lot of this back then. I think women always vastly outnumbered the men because in those days you wanted a son to carry on your name, much like they do now. And if they had girls, they might have 3 or 4 girls before they finally got the son that they wanted. So the women always outnumbered the men. Not enough husbands for the wives, right? And then you have wives that are unhappy. Okay, go after other men. And there's men that go after other women too. All right. Don't lust in your heart for her beauty or let her captivate you with her eyelashes. The eyelids over here. All right. With her wanton looks and gesture. Right. For a prostitute's fee is only a loaf of bread, when an adulteress goes after her precious life. Wife of a man. Right. Woman will hunt for the precious life of a man. Right. I don't know if they do it on purpose or so they're lonely or what, but prostitute's fee is only a loaf of bread. Okay. They say a whorish woman over here, but I was taught to believe that a whore is somebody who just is addicted to sex, or likes sex. A prostitute is selling herself for money. Okay. There's a difference. Yeah. And they just need money. Okay. That's why they're doing it. But an adulteress goes after a precious life. Okay. They don't care. Okay. 32 through 35. One who commits adultery lacks sense. Whoever does so destroys himself. Right. He will get a beating, and dishonor and disgrace will never be removed. Right. If you're found in bed with somebody else's spouse, right, you're likely to get beat up or worse. Right. Dishonor and disgrace will never be removed. For jealousy enrages a husband, and he will show no mercy when he takes revenge. He will not be appeased by anything or persuaded by lavish gifts. Right? You can't buy them off. Okay? You can't buy them off. Right? You do stuff like that, and plenty of people do stuff like this, right? Some people can't even imagine doing stuff like this, right? If you follow the Lord for any length of time, it's just not something you could even entertain doing that. Yeah. I mean, a good Christian, right? Says here, right? Flattering tongue of a stranger. Listening beauty. Now, personally, if somebody was to come up to me, a married woman, saying, hey, I want to and do all this stuff, I would turn her down and I would tell her husband, okay, I'd say, your wife is trying to sleep with other men and you need to look into that, okay? Something is causing her to not be satisfied and you should work on that, okay? Could you have the guts to do that? Maybe I would. I don't know. The husband should know before the wife commits the act, or the wife should know before the husband commits the act, right? And find out what they can do to fix it. But it says stay away from those kind of people. So there you go. That's Proverbs 6, right? More instructions. Well, let's go back over here. Stay tuned later. We're still going through Acts, day 187 or something, right? Paul is well on his ministry. They're going to all kinds of different places and saving us Gentiles now, okay? Leading us Gentiles into salvation. So that's good to listen to. That'll be this afternoon. Give us a like if you think about it. And tomorrow we'll continue with Proverbs. See ya.